Alright, in this video I'll show you how to make a sheath for any knife. I'm going to be making one for this knife, which I custom made myself. So, things you'll need is duct tape, a sole from an old shoe, and some cardboard. You don't really need the cardboard, but I like to use it just to give the sheath more base. What you're going to want to do is take your sole, and you're going to lay the knife that you're making the sheath for just on top, right there. And you're going to want to take your other knife or scissors, whatever you got, and then just cut around it, but make sure you leave a little bit of space. You don't want to cut like right on it. But so they line up, instead of using the knife the second time to trace around on this one, I'm just going to take this piece once I have it cut out and lay it over top and cut that out. I'm actually going to save this one because I think I can just cut it out from right here. So there's that. Then you're going to want to place this on there and then cut around it with one knife. And this sheath will actually last you a very long time. I haven't had any of mine fall apart yet with duct tape and this. And they're very waterproof too. So they're really good. They're not as strong as like more expensive sheaths. If you buy, I forget what it's called, but you get like the little squares of the black material that hardens. That stuff's pretty expensive, and I can't afford that. I would love to use that, but since I'm not rich, I just use this. This is way easier to do. And like if you mess up with that stuff and you wasted some, it's kind of a bummer. But using this, you know, if you mess up, you can fix it really easily. So I got both sides of this cut out now. Then what I'm going to do now, I have this really thin cardboard, like it's really thin. So if you're using thicker cardboard, you probably don't need this back piece, but since I'm using thin cardboard, I'm going to use it. You're just going to want to cut out a piece for each. And really, like these bottom pieces, it doesn't matter if they're rough or jagged, because you're just going to be putting duct tape over it, and that's the part you want to make sure is smooth, so then it will look really nice. Now that you got both sides, what you're going to want to do is just take a thin strip of duct tape. If I can find where this starts. There we go. And you're just going to want to put a piece of tape on each back side that kind of loops over it. You don't want to have it like cross all the way over. And the reason you want to have this part on the inside is because it will slope down like where your foot should be, and this side goes out, so if you had it out like that, it's going to get caught on all this stuff on the bottom. But if you have it like this, it like bends in, so then the knife will slide in easier. Alright. Take a piece like this, and then rip it down the middle. Just gonna set that piece there for right now, maybe. And then make sure you get this as lined up as possible. And actually, it will cross over into the middle. That's to hold that together, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. Just gonna want to take about strips of duct tape this big to start. This bottom part's the hardest part, where it slopes in. You're gonna like want to fold it over on this side, and then just bend that in. Try to fold it over, and just wrap this top part around. This is the only one I would go up at an angle like that, so it crosses over. Because in this part, see how that folds down now? Because there's at an angle, it'll fold across that. And then this piece right here is where you take your scissors. You want to squeeze it down as far as you could, like that, so then it's as flat as possible. And just take your knife and cut it. To make it look nicer, I'm just going to take little strips, about this size, and then rip that in half. just so I can go across at the bottom. Sheath is pretty much done, but there might be a couple rough parts like that. I would just trim those off, and then you got your knife. Well, you got your knife sheath.